Hello, everybody. Guess what? It's Talk to Me Tuesday, and I'm here with you here with Kendra Price, again known as the Networking with Y'all Ninja. Listen, I'm super excited to be here. It's been a while since we've been here and had an opportunity to talk. But guess what? We're always bringing good information to you, different ways to help you grow your business. So today, I am super excited. We have an amazing guest with us today. You know what? I had the privilege of being able to meet this amazing young lady at the Leadership Experience Tour, which is Sean Fair's event. And I wanted to bring her on to talk a little bit about what she does and a little bit about where she's going and how we're going to be able to implement that with some networking strategies, especially for those who are actually starting their business or starting to get into the entrepreneur industry. I just want to make sure that that you're following us and that you're making comments with us. So I'm going to let her introduce herself because she can better tell you more about herself and what she does. So go ahead, Miss Lady, and let's introduce yourself and tell us about who you are and what you do, and then we'll jump into some Talk to Me Tuesday.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Crystal Waters Porter. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And I have a business called Majestic Professional Services, LLC, where we work with women 30 to 67 years of age, and we help you to identify your purpose and your destiny. We encourage and promote self esteem and self confidence. We also help you with your personal development skills so that you can reach your purpose and your destiny. We're about purpose and destiny and where you're going.
Okay, well, awesome. Listen, looks like you put us all in a nutshell with some good information that we're gonna talk about. So listen, I hope everybody, I always say note takers are money makers. So I hope you grabbed your pencil and paper so you can take some notes because we're gonna be dropping some good juice today. So tell me a little bit about why you decided to get and start to doing the business that you're doing. Tell our audience a little bit about that.
Well, um, I have multiple degrees and I work within mental health and in the school district. And I was a child and adolescent therapist. And I've always worked in human services and social services, helping individuals, whether it's children, whether it's adults, families, men. I enjoy helping and working with people. And so I've done a lot of human services and social services in the field and felt that I was not achieving enough because I was not reaching the masses. And it was not enough for me. I was helping other people as they were progressing into their speaking and into their other fields of business, yet I was not feeling fulfilled. And so I had started a few businesses, nonprofits, as well as the LLC in human services, social services, doing mental health and corporate trainings. I've also worked in project management, just trying to help people along their way.
Well, it sounds like you got, some good background.
Yes.
So, you know what? One of the things, even for me, I mean, me and you both have something so in common because we love helping people. I feel like plugging people into the power of networking really helps
Yes.
them to be able to grow their business and take their business to another level. But I like to do it because I just have a passion for it. One, I like to talk. A lot of people know that. But also, there's a way when we're actually talking and developing communication that really can, elevate someone in their business, especially if we do it effectively. So, when you talk about love helping people, that's just a need right now. And I think within all us as being entrepreneurs, I mean, I feel like we can't do this thing by ourselves, right? So we have to have a passion for loving to help one another and help everyone go on their journey. Um,
Yes.
just to give you a quick example, I mean, we do a group that's called Conversations Over Coffee, and we do it every other Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. But inside that group, I call it my lovely sisterhood group because we actually come together as a group of ladies to talk about the juggles and struggles of what it takes in this whole entrepreneurial world. But again, it's the passion of love of helping people. So let's take it back a little step further because you got some good juice, and I'm gonna have to bring it all up here in just a little bit. But as I met you at the Leadership Experience Tour, I was just really, just taken back by you, by your energy, by your spirit, by everything that you just kind of comes. I just met you, so
Yes.
you can tell how that's how the power of networking works. But as we were sitting there talking, and you were saying like one of the things that was you were into or that you were going to, that this was going to be it. You know what I'm saying? So now you're entering this entrepreneur world, and you're like, hey, you know what? This got to work. This got to be it. Tell us a little bit about your decision for why you said that and why you kind of came up with that thought process. But tell us maybe some steps that led you to say, okay, this has to be it.
Well, I remember when I was about 11 years old,
Mhm.
and um, my sister and I attended private Christian school, and we were sent to a church mother's home after school. And every time we went there, she had on Les Brown.
Okay.
And he
Okay.
would say, "This is Mamie Brown's baby boy." And she would sit there, and I would sit with her and watch his motivational speaking. And I said to her, Mother Swain, I'm going to do that one day. I recall that. And she said, Yes, Chris, you are. Yes, you will. Yes, you going to do that. It did not occur to me until 40 years later that this is what I really want to do. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy speaking and getting to inspire and motivate women, even men, to their next destiny, to their destiny, to their next purpose. Because each purpose you fulfill, you have a next one that you have to go to.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so, my steps to that was mainly figuring out who I am
Mhm.
and where I am, because we're always evolving, we're always changing, and we need to know within ourselves. And that's where I was, of where am I, what am I doing, and what is it that I really want to do, because I can't stay where I am, and I don't want to stay where I am. I want to grow. I want to go somewhere else, and I want to do something else. And I've always challenged myself. And this speaking was a fear of mine. I was not the speaker, I was not the talker in my family when I was growing up. So this was an opportunity for me to challenge myself and step out and speak, scared,
Listen,
very
I totally
scared.
understand that because you know what? When I did my very first on stage platform, I was scared. You know what I was saying, what I was doing. It was totally different than all the virtual conversations that we have. But when you're actually speaking on stage, I mean,
Yes.
it's a new game.
Game changer also, because it places you in unfamiliar territory. Um, it takes you completely out of your comfort zone until you become comfortable.
You know what?
And
And that's what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? We got to step out of our comfort zone. But really quickly, I want to jump back to a few things. Now, listen.
mhm,
Thank you. First of all, I want to reset the room. Thank you all for joining us. This is again
thank
Teacher
you.
Price. Talk to Me Tuesday, where we share helpful networking tips to grow your business. We have an amazing guest, Mrs. Crystal Waters, with us, coming all the way from, where you from, Miss Crystal?
Philadelphia,
From
Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia, from Philly, y'all, from Philly. She's
Yes.
coming all the way here to talk with us. So listen, I wanted to just kind of jump back though from the previous question that I asked. Remember, you guys, I told you you need to be taking notes. Note takers are money makers. So if you see me looking down, I'm really taking notes. But I want to go back what you said about Les Brown. So one of the things I love about Les Brown and what he does, and what and a part of his whole thing, what he does, not just a great, brilliant man that he is, but he has a saying that he says, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. See,
Yes.
if anyone knows Les Brown, that is his favorite saying. So when we're actually starting to get into this whole entrepreneur industry ship or whatever it is that we're doing, we got to be hungry. You guys, we have to be hungry for the things that we're trying to do. You mentioned that, your passion. You wanted to do something that you have a passion for, just like you said
Yes.
back when in the days of, when you seen Les Brown, you said, hey, I want to do that. But see, you had a passion deep down, deep inside of you. And that's that part where Les Brown said, you got to be hungry. But that's a passion that, I think sometimes we need to step back and think, what is our true passion? And what do we want to
Yes.
do, and how we want to serve, and how we want to bring that to the forefront? I think a lot of times, we get scared. Just like you said, we're afraid, not only just speaking on stage, but we're afraid to really step out. Some of us have been going to 9 to 5 jobs, and we were comfortable in that comfort zone of
Yes.
that 9 to 5, because you know what? If
Different now.
nothing else, we knew we had a paycheck coming in, right?
Yes.
To
Yes.
pay our bills. But still, the passion that we have, you know what, when you have such a passion and a love for what you want to do, I mean, sometimes that oversees that 9 to 5, and we step out on faith,
On faith.
knowing that, you know
No.
what, God gonna take care of the rest.
Yes.
But I like the fact. Let's step back and talk a little bit about. You said that you had to decide, who you were, what you wanted to do, and where you wanted to go. Ladies, all you know that I'm sorry. I always say ladies. I don't mean to say ladies because I'm always talking to my ladies group. But we're going to step back and talk about those 3 things, because what happens is a lot of times, one, before we do anything, we got to figure out who we are. Would you agree?
Yes, I will agree totally. You
Yes.
must know, especially when you're going into your purpose and your destiny.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just knowing where you're going and who you want to be, but it's knowing who you are now,
Who you are now.
and then becoming. Because how many times do we spend getting to know who you are? How many times do you get to spend knowing where you want to go and really where you want to be? Because if you look back 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, are you where you are now? There you was thinking about. And most people are not. And they don't know.
They don't.
And deep down, it's like it's a problem. And I understand that it's a problem because you don't take the time. Do you take the time to know who you are, just to have a conversation with yourself? Just to have that
It's funny
conversation.
that you said that. You know what? Let's stop, audience, and let Miss. You know what? I gotta interrupt. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what? It's juicy right now,
Okay.
and I gotta make sure we bring that juice on out.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you know what? That is so true, because we don't stop and take time to be just
No.
with in tune with ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said from the beginning, when we start doing things because we have the passion and love for helping
Yeah.
people, we're always helping other people. But sometimes we have to stop and think about ourselves. We talk about that mentally and physically, that we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves to be the person that we want to be for someone else. And sometimes we don't do that, because when we do that, when we don't do that, we kind of get, when you agree, kind of trapped into.
Absolutely. See,
Yeah.
because have you ever become replicas of your mother, your grandmother, your sister, your aunts, even your friends, Do you even know exactly who you are? Um, because at times we become so many things to all people,
Mhm.
and nothing to ourselves.
That is, I mean, and that's true because you know what? A lot of times, just now that you said that, I mean, people be like, "Girl, you act just like how your mama used to act." I mean, girl, you know what? You know what? You cooking that same way your mama used to do. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because we have been so conditioned in a way that those traits and everything came down to us, and as we're
Treats.
helping other people, I mean,
Yeah,
we give a little bit of that to
to
them,
them.
but we never really came on and figured out what our own identity was, what our own things are, our own recipes, and how we cook and do things, you know, because we
Yeah.
never really spent the time to do that. Would you agree?
We never even got a chance to find out what we like, what we don't like, what we love, who we don't love, what we don't love,
Mhm.
and even what we hate, because
Right.
we've been indoctrinated for some people.
Mhm.
We followed what other people had done because you didn't spend time with yourself, getting to know you or who you have become, because after a while you become mom and wife or
Sister,
significant
cousin.
other,
Mhm.
and then you become even what you are of your job, and but is that you?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, oh, oh. Like,
That's
woo, woo,
not
woo,
you, that's
woo.
what you become. But who are you?
Yeah.
Because some people don't know that they really like tea instead of coffee, but because they've been given coffee all the time, they drink it. It's
You know what? Let's stop back because you hit it when you said even when people are in their jobs. Now, if we take this back to being in the entrepreneurial world,
yes.
we are looking at other people instead of creating our
Our
own.
own. Hmm.
So what happens is, you know, I don't know, maybe you can kind of highlight this is that sometimes when we start out doing our business, we see people, everybody doing all these different things. They're getting speaking engagements, they're writing books, you
Hmm.
know, they're on wherever, they're doing so much stuff. And
Hmm.
somehow or another, because we're trying to grow our business, again, some of those things kind of now come off onto us
Yes.
instead of us really being able to define, like you said, who we are, what
We
we want, where we're going, and how we're trying to serve, to be able to really define that. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, you hit on a good point because I know myself and other ladies that sometimes people feel like that's the makeup of how we should be in our business instead of, again, remember, spending time with yourself and really defining what it is that you want to do, how you want to serve and bring to your community.
Well, that's because of the circumstances and the situations that unfortunately we have placed in ourselves also. We placed ourselves in those circumstances and situations because we allowed them to happen.
Yeah.
We allowed ourselves to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset, oh my goodness, you're looking at um, what somebody else is doing compared to where I need to be, and you're not even recognizing that you need to evolve into who you are, make that change. That metamorphosis is important. And when it comes to your own business, don't quit on you, and support you just as much as you support somebody else, so that collaboration will help you to grow your business even more.
Yes, yes. You know what? I always say, you know what? We're not in competition. Y'all listen to me, audience. We're not in competition because
Oh,
guess what? You already won.
yeah, you have
Woo
what you have.
woo. That's a woo woo moment. You are
Yeah.
not in competition because you already won. You won because you stepped out of your comfort zone. You won because you started that business. You won because guess what? You put yourself in that energy, that place, that to where you could grow. You talked about Crystal earlier about doing that personal growth and personal development. You
Hmm.
know, we talk about that a lot too, as people, you know, feel like they don't want to invest in their self, but it's really you're investing in yourself,
Important.
in your business. That personal development and growth is so important for you to
Elevate. Hmm.
elevate in your business. And a lot of us kind of shy away from that because, they feel like, oh, I can't afford it or I can't do it. But
You
if you
can't not afford it.
you cannot not afford to do it, because if you're going to be the leader in your industry or the expert in your
In your
industry,
industry.
it's going to require you to do that. You know what? It's almost like going to school. You know what? We spend thousands and thousands. I don't know, all y'all out there listening to me. We spend thousands
Oh
and
yes.
thousands of dollars in education, right? You have
Right.
to think about that in the same way as in your business.
Absolutely. It's so important because um, how are you going to grow it? How do you expect
Oh,
it to grow? And just like you're growing and evolving, your business is growing and evolving and changing, and it meets the needs of the people. And
but
you're
then
not in
you
a
don't.
marathon and you're not in a triathlon to get to your purpose or destiny, because you must improve and change and get done what needs to be done. And it takes the going through the process, and the process is not easy, sometimes it's not slow either. Sometimes it's being in the right place at the right time, doing what you need to be doing, follow the methods, the means, and the mannerisms to get there.
Oh, I love what you just said. Listen, I hope somebody wrote that down. Hope somebody, if you didn't write it down, I hope you recorded it and listened to it, because you know what? One thing that people's always thinking, they want that microwave success.
Oh yeah.
And it's not gonna happen.
It
It's
takes
just not
time.
gonna happen. It takes time. You know what? And here's the thing about it is, even when you're actually trying to, get a potential prospect to buy your
Mhm,
products and services, you know what? Everything is about timing. We know people buy on emotions,
mhm.
but you know what? One of the things that we have to do is always be in the forefront of our clients or our potential prospects. I always said, and I said it before, if you're not visible in front of your prospects and talking in front of your prospect, they are going to do business with someone else who is more in front of them, more visible. And here's
Mhm.
another thing too: when we talk about personal development, we're talking about staying up with the latest trends, knowing the
Yes.
ins and outs of what your industry is. I mean, here's one thing that I know for sure, that a lot of people, when they want to get involved with something, it's about, how can you save me money and time?
Mhm, mhm.
And by us being the experts that we are, we have to apply that personal development to our business so we could be the resource, or we could solve the problem, should I say, that our clients are out there needing or wanting us to solve.
Yes. Yes. Um, and if you don't work the process isn't going to work for you.
Oh,
And
I
if
love
you're
that.
not going to meet the needs of your people, of your clients, of your prospective clients, because they need to see that you have something that they need from you.
Mhm, mhm.
If you don't present it, then it's not going to come across to them that it's worth having, that you're worth working with, that you're worth getting the services, the product, or anything. If you're not enthusiastic about it, they're not going to be enthusiastic about it.
Uh-oh, now you didn't jump to a whole nother subject. But listen, I'm gonna follow you right there. But what I do want to say is, hey, you gotta love the process. That's that
Yes.
passion. I tell people all the time, listen, it gets hard, it gets tough, but you gotta love the process.
Mhm.
And you're right, if you're not excited about what you're doing, where you're going, listen, in order to be
Everybody
good,
else is.
for us to be good leaders and how we do things, if
Mhm.
we are not excited about what we're doing and how we're serving, you can't expect no one else to be excited about that.
A question just came up of how to present and what approach people take. It's based off of you and your product. because where I can come across being quiet and or even being dogmatic about it, it's based off of you and what you're presenting. Some things may be easy to just sit back, discuss it, and then sit back and let them decide. Where other people, you may have to be in their ear all the time, be in
Mhm.
their face all the time, so that they can see you're not going nowhere. Some people need the, oh, you're not going nowhere? Oh, well, let me just get it just because. And but you're constantly reinforcing that they need this product or they need your services
Mhm.
and how it's going to improve their lives and where it's going to take them, because people want to see progress. They don't want to see that you're just sitting, that whatever they've received from you, they did it and sat aside and they're not progressing in their life with it.
Yes, yes. You know what? I always tell people this is the three rule approach, or I should say your presentation. You know, people want to know who you are, what you do. They
Mhm.
want to know too, how can you solve the problem that they're having? How can, like you said, how can you make their life better? And
Mhm.
three is, how do I get access to it?
How do I get access?
That
And
is the
sometimes
three process rule
it's
that when you're
important.
making a presentation, that again, you know, who are you, what you do. I just gotta say it again. Who are you, what you do, you know, how do you solve my, how are you gonna make my life better? How is your product or service gonna make my situation better? And then thirdly, how do I get access to it? Where do I go to get it? See,
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, even in our presentation, when people make the presentation, they forget to ask, you know, they forget to tell the offer or say the offer or where they can get the offer.
Where you can get it from. Hmm.
And that's a lot of times, even within our presentation. Michael, is it Michael? Let me see. That we have sometimes that people just don't follow that three process rule. I mean, that's even when you're talking about making a presentation, to make sure that, you know, one thing I found out is if you have an offer or whatever you're trying to offer, it has to be crystal clear to the person that you're presenting it to. Guess what? You don't want them to have to be on the treadmill
Trying to
reading
figure it
what
out.
you got or your offer. Let's see.
Yeah.
He says
Yeah.
something. I know what you mean. The authentically person is the key to good business talk. I take an approach to talk about the problem and try to adjust to what I have to those issues. Do you think it's
Absolutely.
important in presenting? Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Again, that goes back to when you're building a brand, you got to think about your story. Your story is your brand. Like you said, authentically, people want to hear from you. They want to know who you are. And that's how they build that know, like, and trust with you. So
Yeah.
when you're building that up, your brand is your story, or or vice versa. You have to say it in a way that it gets straight to the point. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
You have to get straight to the point. I think right now, when you put too much into what you're doing, or and people, I think you get them lost. People get lost into the translation of what you do and how you're going to be able to do those three process.
The quality is greater than the quantity,
Absolutely.
because people are going to the saying that says they'll remember how you made them feel
Mhm.
than what you said.
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
same thing with your personal brand. uh, they're going to remember you than the product that you brought or the services that you are trying to give them, because you're connecting. And
You are
that's
definitely
totally important. That engagement, that interaction, that personal touch is so relevant and important to people, especially after this pandemic. We want one-on-one. We want that connection. We want that collaboration. We want that togetherness, because one, we've been away from each other for so long.
That's true.
That's so important. Everybody wants to be
I want a hug.
exactly. Everybody want to be around each other. Everyone wants to um, work with one another because we've been apart so much. Then you need to bring the real you. You need to bring who you are, who you represent, what you represent, and yet you are still doing it in safety. You can still wear a mask. I do, but the needs of the people are important, and in those needs, you're the one who's going to be the one who presented to them, and they're going to want you. They want you just like they want that presentation and that service. They want you.
Yeah, that is so true. And you're right. People buy on emotions and feelings.
Mhm.
Um, Here's the thing about it is that I mean, if you look and do a little research, for me, like I'm network everything, and I look at how things have been presented, the feeling with inside of the presentation. I look at so many different
Yes.
commercials, so many different things that is even right now on TV, and it kind of really tells you if you do the research, really how you can take that particular strategy and put it into your own business. Because one thing people want to
Wonder.
know is how are you going to make them feel? How
Yeah.
is your products and service going to
Yes.
change their circumstances? And
Yeah.
sometimes, when we're not putting out the right content to
Yes.
be a grabber to them, sometimes you lose them in the process.
Hmm.
And so do a little research, Mike, on that, because I mean, when you're thinking about presenting, you're thinking about your brand, look at some of the most popular brands that are out there and look at how they're making their presentation. Whether through television, through books. I mean, look
Yeah.
at how they're doing it.
It's your research is very important when it comes to your business, because how are you going to keep evolving?
Yes.
And you need to stay relevant.
Mhm.
That's so important. Being relevant to your company, to your clients, to the services, because you always want to be on the cutting edge.
You want to be different. Here's the thing about it is we all have a unique business. We
Unique.
all offer something unique. Even though there's tons of insurance companies, tons of financial companies, no matter what's out there, even if you're doing the same thing, there's something unique about you
Unique. Hmm.
that draws people to you. And what you have to do is really develop that and bring that out
Hmm.
in your presentation. You have to bring that out even through your branding, through your conversation. We talked about, you know, when you have a conversation, to make sure that it's an engaging enough conversation to get your potential prospect to take the next step with
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And that is so huge when we're talking about personal development, when we're talking about, helping and serving other people. That
Hmm.
is so important. You're right. People do on the feel, felt, and found. I don't know if anybody still remember that, but that is a true thing. People do how they feel, how they felt, and how they found.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to put that into your actual conversation as well. Hey, you know what? I feel the same way. I used to be in your particular situation, but what I found was this. And then
Yes.
now you can bring it back into your conversation of your products and services, of how you
Identifying is
yes,
identifying you, that people want to identify themselves with you
yes. The
and with the
connection is
product.
so important. You
Yeah.
have to make that connection. Okay, Miss Lady, listen. I know that too, even when we met. I mean, I'm telling you, I love your fire. I love your energy.
Thank you.
This is what we're talking about when we talked about presentation. And
Yes.
another thing, I want to go back to, even when we're into the midst of the conversation, I got to say this because you guys, I'm network all things. Make sure that when we're introducing ourselves, pick 12 words. Pick 12 words to introduce yourself. No more than 12 words, because remember, I said you don't want people to get lost into the shuffle. And so if you can do a short introduction, something that can be so memorable to a person that you meet, then they're going to be more apt to continue the conversation. Okay, I do business in Poland. Uh-oh, we went from Poland. And because of the financial crisis, people strive for a lot of advice, knowledge, and guidance before buying. Would you say the American market is reacting in a similar way?
A lot of face knowledge.
Ah,
So,
I think everybody wants to make sure that when you're doing something, that you are very well knowledgeable of it. And I think you have to be the one to, again, like we're talking about personal development, you have to be the one to start doing your research and information
yes.
and staying on top of your trends. So when you have that conversation with somebody, you can bring that information out
Hmm.
and be able to guide them in the right direction. I think
Hmm.
everybody is going to want to make sure that you know what you're talking about
Oh
before
yeah,
they even invest and do business with you. So that is a key component of really knowing your industry and what's going on inside that industry. Would you agree?
totally agree. You need to know before you take the time, before you take your finances,
Yes.
and use it or misuse it. You want to make
Oh,
sure
I like that. Use
that
it or misuse
because
it.
you don't want to misuse your. We're stewards
Love
over
it.
our money. We're stewards over our time.
Yeah.
So you don't want to um, throw 2,000, 5,000, $10,000 into something that is not going to be profitable to you. You wasted time, you wasted money, you wasted energy, you wasted all of your effort, and then you're going to come back broke, busted, and disgusted. And that had all to do with you didn't do your research. You didn't take the time to see where you're going and where this product or these services can take you. So therefore it comes back to the self-development also, personal development also, because it may not be something that you really need to be doing at this time. Just because someone else is doesn't mean that you need to be.
I would agree. I would also think about when you actually have a potential client, when we're talking about knowledge and guidance, when you meet that person, even before you
Mhm,
have the appointment, what is the end result? The
mhm.
client wants to make sure that whatever you give them is going to be result driven. So you
Exactly.
have to think about, what's the end result
What
here?
is it for you?
What if this client works with me? How is it going to be different from working with any other client? And how am
Mhm,
I going to bring those true results to my client?
mhm, mhm. And
Listen,
it's important. Prefer to pay more. Well, some people do, and then they're at a fault.
well, I feel like this. Again, people, you have to build that know, like, and trust factor with
Mhm,
people and with your clients. You're right. Clients prefer to pay more and feel safer with good advisors instead of looking at the price or prestige or the functionality.
mhm.
Listen, if you are on your game and you know your industry and you know when you approach your client what you're going to be
Oh yeah.
giving them,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
hands down, they're going to go with you
They're gonna
because
go.
it is about the security of knowing that who you are and
Mhm,
what you bring to the table is so important. How you're going to be able to, again, we're talking about the end result
mhm.
of what's going to happen once they do business with you. What is the experience? What
Yeah,
kind of experience are they going to have with you?
at the
So
end.
you are building up that know, like, and trust
Yeah.
factor with them. Sometimes money don't matter. Sometimes it really don't, because you're going to bring something so much more value to them that they're going to love wanting to be with you. Guess what? And that's again how we develop promoters. I tell people, you know what? We need to be building promoters. When we do a good job and a good service for someone, then
Mhm,
guess what? They are going to promote you to the next person. Networking is all about building self
okay.
promoters.
Mhm,
So, I mean, think about that in return. I mean, as long as you know what you're doing in the experience that they're going to get with you and the knowledge that you bring, then guess what? They're going to prefer that overall.
mhm. It's that personal interaction and engagement.
It's that personal relationship that you're building.
Mhm,
We all have to build relationships. And a lot of times, some of us don't take the time to build the relationship. You're right. It's not always about the almighty dollar. But if I have a good relationship with you, then I already building again that no like trust factor with you. And I know that whatever you do or whatever business that we encounter together, I know that the end results are going to be well worth it. So we always have to take time to build relationships, meaningful relationships with our clients every time we do business with them.
at all
Because
times.
remember, you don't want it to be a one-stop shop. Because anytime something new comes out, and because you build that amazing relationship with them, guess what? They're always going to keep coming back to you. And again, they're going to keep promoting you along the way.
Yep. Quality,
Quality over quantity.
quantity.
That's it. Okay, Miss Buddy, what else? Listen, I know that you have sung on the many stages.
Yes, I have.
So come on with me. We gotta bring that out a little bit before we end our segment. Listen, you sung and hit the stage and inspired people with your words. I mean, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I started singing very young and in the church, still sing in the church. And then I went and sang professionally with Professor Gregory Hopkins of New York with the Harlem Jubilee Singers. And we traveled to South America and Europe. And I did that for 6 years. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed singing. I enjoyed bringing the word of God through song. And so, it's agreed that I can encourage just as much in song as I can in speaking.
Ooh, I love it. Because really when you can get on that stage and sing, guess what? You speaking at the same time. Because you know what? Words that are coming out of your mouth is going to be something that's going to be so motivating and moving to the listeners, to your audience. You got to think about it like that. As every time you get up on the mic and sing, you're actually speaking. Because the words that I'm telling you,
It's coming
listen,
out.
and I got an opportunity. She sung a little bit for me too, y'all. I'm telling you, it was so super super good. But I'm
Uh,
telling you, those words manifest into people just as if we're talking, like we're talking
oh,
now.
absolutely.
I mean, it manifests into making a transformation in someone's life, and sometimes we really don't realize it at that moment. But
Mhm.
believe me, they come back around and circles back around,
Mhm.
and it's amazing.
It is. It is. It touches people's lives in many areas. And um, a lot of times, the words alone transforms. And that's what we're about, is transforming lives. It's making someone see where they can go, what they can do, who they can become, as well as putting your faith
Mm.
into your creator,
Mhm.
putting your faith and trust in who you are and who you can become. It's
Yes.
important. It's
It's
important. We have a life to live in. This life that we live, ah, it changes all the time. But in our lives, we're able to touch somebody's life. And that's important because we're to influence and impact other people, whether it's through song or whether it's through speaking, whether it's through magazine. We are to touch people's lives. And we make the difference in what we say and what we do.
we really, really do. I always say our message is not for us. The message that we're trying to deliver is for someone else. And that message changes, like you said, the lives of other people. You're right. No matter how the message is delivered,
Mm-hmm.
listen to me, no matter how the message is delivered, it still makes an impact.
Still.
Maybe like I said, it may not impact immediately, but it will impact further down the road. I mean, even myself, I mean, still now we talk about songs. I always have my favorite song that I'm sitting in here in my office, and sometimes I'm just typing away and I'm just singing. I mean, that's an impact, y'all. Do you hear me? Because somebody sung that song to me, and now guess what? It's changed me. It's making me think. Or even if it's a book I read or a quote or something that I came out, or even when we ourselves, you're right, even through our magazine, one of the things that my goal for our magazine is for each one to promote one. It's a legacy that I want for people to have their own digital footprint, because guess what? Somewhere down the way, somebody's going to pull that magazine up.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to circle back around. Guess what? And this is the legacy that you leave of what you're trying to do, the footprint that you try to put into the world, because that's going to inspire someone else.
It's going to inspire.
Our youth is coming up. So a lot of times people look at, oh, this isn't going to make a difference. Yes, it's going to make a difference. Believe me, somebody somewhere, it, because of you made a difference, or you voice and put your information out there, somebody's going to read that and it's going to change their life completely.
Yeah. As well as
I mean, look at our lives are being changed by
making
stuff.
making sure that you're available to change the lives. That's important, because so many people are so busy.
But are they really busy?
No, not necessarily.
Sometimes we're busy being busy. How about
busy
that?
being busy, or trying to be busy.
That's it.
But
That's
it's you have to touch people's lives, because you don't know who's waiting on your words, your song. You don't know who's waiting on that smile. You don't know who's waiting just to hear the one word of hello.
Hello. That is so true.
It matters to people. It matters. It saves people's lives all the time. It changes lives all the time.
It really, really do. I'm telling you, I mean, we could talk about this, but I'm telling you, from the let me tell y'all this. Yeah, I'm telling you, listen, what we're talking about, changing lives is huge. You know what I'm saying? In the services that you provide changes someone else's life. I want to say it on two different things. I'm gonna say, listen, my sister, she is in the she has her own fitness studio, and the lives that she is changing by having that facility open. Now, just think, she was kind of like, just like you, starting her entrepreneurship, and she loves health and fitness. I mean, she has a passion for helping other people, in their health journey, and she actually, I'm just going to say, I had a relative of mine who went through some major stuff, but because she listened to this, you guys, because she took her passion, this love that she has for health, started the studio, put in some equipment in there, and now she was able to help our cousin who had, what was it, triple bypass. I mean, come from something that was so amazing, but because she had the ability, what we say, change somebody's life, she's able to change their life, not only just helping them in that particular industry, but mentally she's helping them as well. And she's helped many other ladies, change their life. I know she always tells me, listen, it starts up here in the mind first, right? We got to mentally, like we said earlier, get ourselves ready for the change.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get ourselves mentally ready, and we have to have coaches, y'all. Listen to this. One of the things that people don't like to have is coaches. See, she's a coach. We're a coach, right?
Yes, we are.
But somebody had to coach us, right?
Yes.
So the coaches of the coaches had to be coached. Like a lot of times people think, oh, girl, sometimes we had 2 or 3 coaches. No. But I just wanted to say that as a way of being able to transform lives. And if we're talking about leaving a legacy, even print legacy, just think of the many people that have gone on before us, that we're now reading their books. We're now listening to their audio tapes.
Yes.
What is that? That's a transformation, y'all.
That's transformation. And so many times we don't even recognize it, because we're changing and didn't even know we were changing because we read the story.
We read the story.
Our mindset changed.
Made us change and say, guess what? Today I made a decision to do something different.
Yeah, because it changes our reality. Changed our reality, which changed our future.
It changes our future. Yeah, I hope y'all listen. We dropped some nuggets right there. Look, I always like to say woo woo,
Woo woo.
Woo.
Woo woo. Woo
We,
woo.
if y'all didn't hear nothing else, we gave y'all the change of the change. We didn't showed you how people who are laying down the 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 tracks to change people's lives, how we're all changing people's lives, and how somebody changed our life from the simple things that we're saying. Hey, get your information out, share your message. You know, if you have a passion or love for something, don't let nobody stop you from that. Do what you love doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the change. Guess what? It
You
may
are
not
the
seem like
change.
it's happening as quick as you wanted to. You know, you probably making as much as money as you want to, but I'm telling you, Lord, 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 it's gonna happen. That change. Look, what is it?
It's happening.
It's coming. The change is coming. Ain't that
Change
the
is
song?
coming.
That's a
Change is
song. That's a
coming.
gospel song. The change is coming. The change
That's
is
right.
coming, y'all.
The change is
You
coming.
gotta hold on. Listen, I can grab
Don't give up.
in here. You gotta
Don't give
hold on
up.
to God's unchanging hand, because guess what? He gonna bring it to y'all.
Yes,
He
yes,
gonna bring it to you.
absolutely. Absolutely.
You
And,
know,
and be prepared for it. Be prepared for the change. Be prepared for the increase. Be prepared to go higher.
higher.
Um, that's important. The preparation is so important because you don't want to be stuck and you don't want to be in that place
Hmm.
where you were last year, last month, last year, 10 years ago, and yet you're striving for that mountaintop.
What you say?
Or you're climbing on the mountaintop. You get in front of the people that you wanted to be in front of, but you're not ready. You're not prepared. Why not? Be prepared. Be ready. Have what you want to say it. Be dressed appropriately. That's important.
Okay, that's
Know
always good.
know
That's
your
good.
business. Know your business.
Know your business.
Yeah,
Right.
you must know your business because
Know
who's
your
gonna
business
follow
and
you?
be about your business. How about that?
Yeah, or who's gonna follow you?
Right.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're doing. You're not ready for it, and then the opportunity goes away.
Don't let them
Every
have.
opportunity does not come back again. Most opportunities
They don't.
do not come back again. You get one time to make a good impression. Make the best of it.
The best. Yes, the best. Okay, Miss Lady, look. Normally we talk for about an hour, girl. We didn't probably out. What time is it?
We got 3 minutes.
We got
Three
3 minutes.
minutes.
Okay, so listen, tell the listeners how they can get a hold of you, connect with you, and if you got some programs coming out, like listen, this was some good juice, y'all. She probably got some programs coming out that you can probably take advantage of. Or tell the audience what you got coming out, how they can participate with you, and how they can connect with you.
You can connect with me. I'm on Facebook under Crystal Waters Porter. You can find me on drcrystalwatersporter.com. I will be doing Ruby Girl
Hey,
podcast in August 12th. I will be on Dr. Tandra Price's lunch
luncheon.
on Thursday
Oh,
lunch or
conversations
something.
over
Some
coffee. Yes,
conversation with over coffee soon.
yes, yes.
And look for me on social media. I also have a 90-day coaching program for men and women to identify your purpose and destiny. Um, our goal is to make sure that you are strengthened and prepared for your job, whatever your purpose is, whatever your calling is, whatever your where are you going. That's what we're here to help you get to where you're supposed to be,
To that
especially with your
destination. That's where you.
professional
Yeah.
development skills, that mindset, making sure that your mindset is where it needs to be, that is elevated.
Elevated.
and going to the next level because we soar. So we're soaring higher because I'm your change agent.
Yes, yes. Well, okay, audience, listen. We have had it. Listen, Miss Crystal Waters. First of all, I want you to kind of hang back after I end this.
Absolutely.
But listen, we had an amazing time. Like I said, I met this amazing lady at the Leadership Experience Tour, and it was phenomenal. She had so much energy, and I loved her spirit. Listen, the Leadership Experience Tour is coming up in October. If you have not yet been a part of this amazing experience like we have, you
Yes.
want to jump
Yes.
over to the Sean Fair Leadership Experience Tour, I think it's .com,
Sign up.
and
Yes.
sign up to be a part of one of these amazing speakers. Now, for as far as me, guess what? Tune in to me. We do it every other Thursday, which is Conversations Over Coffee. Listen, we have some phenomenal women that come on there and we talk about the juggles and struggles of what it takes to be in business. And you know what? We all need somebody. Okay, so this thing ain't made for us to do it by ourselves. It's made for us to collaborate with someone else. Also, we have our Tapped In magazine, which is the link is up above, that we have coming out in August. Listen, if you're looking to elevate your business and get in front of a global audience to be able to expand your network and promote and connect and promote with other people, Tapped In magazine is where you want to be at. We're getting ready for our August edition, and we would love to see you inside of there. Listen, y'all, we're going
Yes.
to the UK. So this magazine has done some amazing things over the time that we've had it, and we've made some amazing connections, and now we want to share them with you. Listen, as always, check back with us every Tuesday for Talk to Me Tuesday, where we share some helpful networking tips to help grow your business. Until the meantime, we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.